A part of all I earn is mine to keep. Say it in the morning when you first arise. Say it at night. Say it each hour of every day. Say it to yourself until the words stand out like letters of fire across the sky. George S. Clayson, the richest man in Babylon. Money, money, money. Hello, welcome to Dragon Financial. I'm your host, Brad. Have you ever wished for more money? Or maybe just to understand finance? Here at Dragon Financial, we do things a little bit differently. Every episode will take us on a planned series of learning more about money. This is a journey that will take us through the history of money and teach you what you should have learned in high school. Our team has prepared a multi-part series to teach you the basics of money and finance. So if you want to master money and finance, subscribe to the Dragon below to take this journey with me. After we've learned the basics of money, we'll dive into the stock market, and we have several more series coming your way. We can't promise to take you from zero to hero, but we'll try our best. So let's dive in. Today we'll be learning about debit and credit cards. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. Have you seen one of these names before? Odds are you probably have. These are the big four credit card suppliers and account for the majority of all credit cards in the United States. But why would we even need or use a credit or debit card? These cards allow us to buy goods and services without having cash in our pocket. I have included a link to my favorite site to find the best credit cards at NerdWallet below. But before we go and sign up for a credit card, there are a couple things we need to know. The two main types of cards are credit and debit cards, but they have some key differences. First, let's look at the debit card. A debit card is also called a cash card because it is linked directly to your bank account and draws the cash immediately from your account. We previously went over bank accounts in our last video, and I will include a link in the description if you need to learn more about banks. The two key reasons to use a debit card are convenience and access to cash with ATM withdrawals. With a debit card, because you are drawing money directly from your bank account, you need to have enough money in your account to pay for the good or service. Next, we will look at credit cards. When applying for a credit card, the bank will give you a credit limit. This limit is how much money you have in your account and will allow you, just like debit cards, to pay for goods and services up to that limit. However, because credit cards use the bank's cash, they are basically a loan from the bank. Some people refer to using a credit card as using other people's money. And because a credit card is a loan from the bank, you need to have a credit score check before receiving a credit card. The credit score helps the bank to decide if you will repay their loan and how big of a credit limit you need to have. Your credit score is one of your most important financial numbers, so we'll go over it more in depth in the next lesson. Now that we know a little bit about credit and debit cards, let's look at why one would use cards over cash. First, let's take a look at some of the advantages, and then we will look at some of the risks. Remember, there are four major companies that give out cards, and every card is a little bit different. But in general, credit cards will usually give us one or more of the advantages below. First, credit cards usually give you 30 days to pay back the charge, resulting in a free 30-day loan, as long as you pay off the complete balance. Second, most cards usually offer cashback rewards or points on purchases of 1 or 2%, and sometimes even more. So as long as you pay off the complete balance, you'll get a free 1 to 2% reward just for making your everyday purchase. Pretty sweet, huh? Another advantage of a credit card is a balance transfer offer. This is a loan from the bank up to your credit limit that you can use to buy something or even pay off other loans. The bank will usually give you 9 months or more to pay back the loan and give you a very low interest rate. So this may be a good idea to pay down any high interest loans you may have at a discounted rate. If you like money, hit the like button. Despite all of these great things, you need to be very careful with credit cards. First, remember, credit cards are a loan from the bank, and the banks want their money back. If you fail to pay off the entire balance on your card for any reason, they may charge you a very high rate, sometimes over 25%. So it is essential you pay off the entire balance every month. A second issue that can be a big problem with credit cards is spending more than you can afford. So it is important only to use them for emergencies or regular everyday purchases and to not spend more than you can afford. A good rule of thumb is to only use them for something you were going to buy anyway. Third, it is very important to read and understand your credit card fees. A late payment can not only charge a fee, but could also trigger higher interest rates on your balance. And with a balance transfer, many banks charge a fee for the transfer. So it is very important to understand any fees that your card might charge. The government requires banks to list these fees in a table for you to read. I have included a sample rate page so you know what to look for to find these fees. Remember, it is very important to understand your interest rates and fees on any card. So, which one should you use, debit or credit cards? Well, the answer to this question depends on you. You need to know yourself. If you have struggled with paying your bills on time, then Dave Ramsey, a well respected financial author, recommends using a debit card because it will help you to only buy what you can afford. Because you will need to check your account balance before making a purchase. On the other hand, if you are disciplined and you can use your card to make purchases you were already going to make without overspending, then a credit card is the best option because you will get the rewards for free. But it is essential to not overspend and to pay the card off every month. Credit and debit cards may also have additional bonuses and perks they offer depending on your card. There are too many to go over here, but I'll make a list of some of the more common bonuses. My favorite is fraud protection, which allows you to dispute any fraudulent charge on your credit card. And I have used this successfully myself to dispute a duplicate charge on my card on more than one occasion. Some cards also offer a travel concierge to book your vacations. They offer access to airport lounges, rental car insurance, roadside assistance, and many more, depending on your card. Which card do I use? Well, personally, I use several credit and debit cards and pay them off completely every month while collecting the free bonuses. My favorite rewards card is the Venmo credit card, which pays a 3% cashback reward on your highest spending category every month, 2% on your next highest category, and 1% on all other purchases. Here is a quick review of the topics we learned today. The big four credit companies, debit cards, credit score, credit card advantages, credit card risks, additional card bonuses. I will leave timestamps in the description below so you can quickly review any of these topics. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I am not a licensed financial advisor. These are my personal thoughts and opinions. Also, I am not being a sponsored or an affiliate for NerdWallet, but I have included affiliate links to American Express and Venmo in the description below, so you can apply for their cards. I hope you enjoyed our journey today as we explored debit and credit cards. Join me next time as we go in depth on the credit score in our series on money, what they didn't teach you in high school.